How many Kavita Krishnamurti fans in the house? A bigger round of cheers. You know, ma'am, this is my third session today, but only now I'm getting goosebumps because I've grown up listening to your songs for decades, and to actually do this session is surreal. But on behalf of all of us, thank you for the music.
Thank you so much for inviting me here today. And I'd like to say that every moment of my life, every second of my life now, I thank God, because music has played such an important role in my life, and all the best things of life have come to me because of music. So I have to thank God, whether I sing or not, the fact that He gave me love for music and allowed me to be with great artists for at least more than 5 decades. I have met the best artists. And for me, my wealth, I feel, is my being able to work and sing with such phenomenal people. That's been the wealth I've collected in my life, and I have to thank God again and again and again.
So, I don't know how many of you know, but Kavita Krishnamurti's original name was Sharada Krishnamurti, and Sharada, you know, is another name of Goddess Saraswati.
Yes.
And you're certainly someone blessed by Goddess Saraswati to be able to sing for 4-5 decades.
Little more than 5 decades now. My first song with Lataji, which was just 4 lines for a Bengali movie which under the music direction of Hemant Kumar. It was a Tagore song. That was in 71.
Would you be able to give us, sing perhaps a couple of lines if you remember?
Can I just drink some water before I do that?
Absolutely. Let me help.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. You know, my husband is a violinist, and every time I go home, I have a bit of a tug with him. I'll say, "You clever man, you never bring your violin." Thank you. Well, that was a Tagore song. And I sang exactly 4 lines, and I must tell you that those days recordings were all done together, so musicians would be in a hall, and the singer's cabin I didn't know Lataji was singing till I was there in the studio. I learned 4 lines, and I was waiting, and the door opened, and Lataji walked in. Only then I realized I was singing with her. So everything was very difficult for me at that time. But anyway, the first final rehearsal, I forgot to sing my 4 lines because I was so busy listening to her beautiful voice and the way she was singing. I forgot, and I remember being scolded not scolded, but saying, Hemant asking me, "Why didn't you sing? What happened?" And that time Lataji looked at me like this. My mic was there saying, she realized what had happened. Anyway, in the final take, I did sing. Shukhi bhabona kahare bole, Shukhi jatona kahare bole, Tomra je bolo divos rajoni, bhalobasha, bhalobasha, Shukhi bhalobasha kare koi.
What an amazing treat that was. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us a glimpse of your first ever song. I'm sure that would have given you goosebumps to be able to sing with her.
Yes.
And I think over the years, you also dubbed a lot for Lata Mangeshkar.
Yes. What really happened was, I'm not from a musical family, so after I grew up in Delhi, I studied in Convent of Jesus and Mary here. And my very first singing was for a Bengali competition in Kalibadi, Delhi, where I sang for Durga Puja, Tagore song competition. So that kind of convinced my aunt, who is a Bengali, my adopted aunt. She decided that I had a voice for playback singing, and our closest friends were Hema Malini and their mother, Jaya Chakravarti, who are also from Lake Square or Hague Square in Delhi. So we've spent our childhoods together, and when I went, she was already a dream girl. So when I went there to Bombay, then I joined college in St. Xavier's there. And in the process, after I finished and all that, Hema Malini's mother took me to Lakshmikant Pyarelal, saying that this is Hema's cousin, why don't you give her a chance? So cut to maybe another 4 or 5 years later, I got a call from their office saying that this song is going to be sung by Lata ji, but we would like you to dub it for the actress because, it's very difficult for an actress to emote to a male voice. Lakshmi ji had to sing. So then I said, okay, that's the best way for me to learn to work with a big orchestra. Orchestra those days were, there were studios like Mehboob Studios and film centers where there were 80 musicians, 100 musicians, chorus singers. And, amongst the musicians, there were top musicians. You would have somebody like Hari Prasad ji and Shiv Kumar ji all playing flute and the santoor. So there were such great people there. And here I was this new girl trying to sing songs, which later Lata ji would dub. She would sing it for the album and the movie. My song would be used only for the shooting. So my first song was for a film called, I think, Chacha Bhatija. Batli ko tod de, sharab ko chhod de. The Lata ji finally sang that. So I continued dubbing a lot of songs for her. And in that process, there was a song, my first song that few lines were kept was Mang Bharo Sajna, Kahi ko Byahi Bides. Subsequently, then 2-3 years later, 1983-84, there was Pyar Jhukta Nahi, in which I sang a song called Tumse Milkar Na Jaane Kyun. That song got kept. And from there, I started getting work everywhere.
Right. How far...
Thank you so much.
How did your training in classical music help you, to sing for movies? Because you're able to infuse so much of emotion irrespective of what songs you sing, right? It could be a romance song, it could be someone going through a heartbreak, it could be devotion. But there is a certain emotion that you manage to infuse in every song that you sing. I mean, Humdal De Chuke Sanam's title track wouldn't have been that without your voice.
I'd like to say that in music, like ma'am just said just now, without dedication and hard work and sincerity, it's a bit difficult. I'm not saying that I'm super dedicated, super hardworking, no. But you have to have a passion. Like I had a passion for music. And when you do something in life that you like to do, something that you can spend hours and forget yourself, music has that power. So for me, I was able to sit with a lot of different, classical music is like knowing the ABC and the fundamentals. Without the fundamentals, like you said, without the fundamentals, you really can't go ahead. So like if I'm singing a song, for me to know what the sa is the song, what is the madhyamam in the song, what is the pancham in the song, makes me easier for me to notate my song. Then I can remember it because when the musicians are getting prepared, sometimes those days it used to take 4 or 5 hours before we came in front of the mic. So if everybody's chatting around and I've forgotten to put my notation, I may forget the song. So fundamentals are important. But for me, I must tell you that a lot of things you have to unlearn when you become a playback singer. I don't know how to tell you this. Like, for example, as you're learning classical music, you would do, let's say, if I'm singing Om Namah Shivaya, okay, for a change. Let's say, Namah Shivaya. Supposing I'm saying that. So
with
every
all the
time,
gamakams.
if you do Namah Shivaya, what works so much for playback? Om Namah Shivaya. It's a much easier singing, Albela sajan albela sajan ayori. Because there you've got
That
the...
was amazing. Without any accompaniment.
No, because you're not singing for yourself at that point. You're singing for an actress. And that actress might be a classical dancer or she might be just a village girl who's just... Dil ne kaha chupke se. I cannot suddenly sing, okay, it's based on little bit of rag nand or des, so I must bring in the ragas. The ragas, the composer has composed based on 2 ragas, but when you sing it, you have to sing it like a girl in 1947 who is from a simple place. She's not going to use so much gamakas. And how would you express your words if you bring in so much gamakas? So there's a lot of unlearning process. And for that, I think the different music directors I worked for, they were encyclopedias, and Lata ji and Asha ji were encyclopedias for us, Geeta Dutt, all these people. So we were able to see what situations when you saw films, and those days we used to see films in a big theater, and we would see how song picturizations were done. I think you learn a lot from that.
Right. I think some of your most iconic work in the last 2 decades came from the movies that you did with Sanjay Bhansali, right?
Yes, I
Whether
got
it was
beautiful
a
songs.
Khamoshi, whether it was a Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, or whether it was a Devdas. Something special about that equation
Yes.
between you, Sanjay Bhansali, and Ismail Darbar
Yes.
kind of made the magic happen.
Yes.
Tell us what one of your favorite songs that you've worked with them on, and if you can give us a couple of lines from that.
I think the Ismail Darbar is absolutely fantastic. Very, very creative, very emotional, and very, very clear in his mind what he wants the singer to do in a song. It was very difficult to please him in a recording studio. And I remember how nervous I was when I was going to sing Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, the title track. Because I must tell you all that I do suffer from a lot of cold issues. You should have seen me coming in the little bit the AC is on and I'm with a shawl. And then I also have a lot of sinus. So sometimes when I go to sing a song, I'm hoping and praying to God, please don't give me too many hums and tums and kasams, and because my nose may not work. So that day I remember telling my aunt, I think, Mamuni, today I don't know how long I will take because it's going to be a difficult song with too many hums, Dil De Chuke Sanam, everything. But ye us din raag rasoi pagdi wali baat ho gayi thi. I think that day God was definitely smiling at me. He says, no, you're going to do it very quickly today. So that day actually I managed to sing the song in 1/3 of the time, which is very surprising because I really thought I would take hours, but I finished it soon. But it's the ability to forget a song after you record is in a way a very good ability, because when you go to the next studio to sing for somebody else, it's easier if you have forgotten what you've sung and you go and with fresh ears to listen to another song. But that song, after Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, I could not have sung for a day because that song really, that composition haunted me. It was such a beautiful composition. The lyrics, the way the song was done, and the orchestration of the song, just beautiful with the Western voice starting like an operatic singing in the beginning, and the way then the violin, the string section comes in. It's very, very beautiful.
Will you be able to? No. Okay, if not that, then some other song of Sanjay Bhansali.
I remember telling her outside that if some song is important and you want me to sing a couple of lines, I will. And now she's trapping me every second line.
I can't let go of this opportunity.
Okay, forgive me if I am not able to do it well. तेरी यादों के साए में गुजरेगी ये जिंदगी, उस खुदा के बाद तो पूजा होगी बस तेरी, चाहे जो मांग लो सब तुम्हारा है, चाहे जो मांग लो सब तुम्हारा है। हम दिल दे चुके सनम तेरे हो गए हैं हम, तेरी कसम तेरी कसम।
Wow! I think this deserves a standing ovation, everybody.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think you're clapping for the original song. I didn't do so well now, but thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks a
ma'am.
lot.
I promise not to ask you.
I love you all for the love and support. This is what keeps a musician going, I must tell you. Without this love and support, we cannot sing for so many years. Thank you so much. Really grateful.
No, and you're going to have that love and support for a long time to come. But I must ask you, what is it like being in a family where everyone is so super talented? You're married to L. Subramaniam, who is a world-famous violinist. And then the kids, Ambi Subramaniam is a prodigy, then Brindu Subramaniam. And it's just like music in the house. How do you all, what's the dynamic like? What do you all discuss at the dinner table?
Oh, I'm blessed that they're all musicians. And it's funny because when the children were small, Now, after marriage, they've all staying in their own apartments nearby. But earlier, we were in the same house when they were kids. And it used to be funny because my daughter used to be listening to Mariah Carey, and then she would do her songwriting, and then she would be singing something in English. And the other room, Ambi would be practicing his violin. And then my other son, who's actually a surgeon now, he's an oncologist, but he used to sing. And then sometimes I would be sitting in another room before a concert and teaching him Sunta Hai Mera Khuda. And then my husband would be playing his classical music in another room. So somebody passing by must have thought this is a madhouse. But music has kept us all united, and we all share this music. And the best thing is, if I'm out for a concert, I'll get messages from all my children saying, all the best, Ma, sing your best today. Then if my husband is out on a concert, then we're all wishing him. And Ambi's now, he's just performing right now, I think in Venice somewhere. So we send him a message saying that, Ambi, play your best. So it's good to have this kind of love and support at home. It keeps us going, and we're hoping our grandchildren will also grow up with a great foundation in music. We don't know whether they'll be musicians, but I always feel that, these are my husband's words, that music is very, very important for intellectual, emotional, and spiritual development. And it has been so for all of us.
It's food for the soul, as
It's
they
food
say.
for the soul, yes.
But I must ask you, in an era of AI, artificial intelligence, and auto-tune, how does this change, for a singer like you who's trained with so much of rigor, who pays so much of attention to every sur, every tal? Now, it's not even like an orchestra. People come, they sing, and then there is so much of technology to correct what you have sung. What do you make of the changes?
That is a tricky question, because I'll tell you the changes can be very good, because, for example, I saw the changes where we had to sing 6-minute songs at a stretch. However sick we are, we had to do it. Then there was a time when I could sing like Khamoshi and all. I could sing half a song or 5 lines together. And then now, if I have to go and record, suddenly the recordist will tell me, Didi, don't bother to sing the whole line. Aap bas wo do shabd ga dijiye, ho jayega. It's a bit difficult. I feel all these things, somewhere I feel that like if you say you have a pitch correction machine and you have a tala machine, then your efforts should not decrease as a musician. But I feel anybody who's outstanding and who does very well in music will have that dedication and sincerity, because you're doing it for yourself. No? Whatever we do, aren't we doing it for ourselves? Whichever profession we want to excel in it's for our own fulfillment, our own path of progress, and our own dedication through life. So I think finally good artists will not compromise in these things. And when it comes to artificial intelligence, I think you all are a wonderful audience. If there is no emotion in a song, I don't think you will all accept it. Even if it's technically fantastic, but it's not a human emotion, it's not an emotion that touches your heart, you'll probably throw away the song, won't you? So I'm not really scared about AI. I know it, I hope it doesn't affect the royalties of artists. That will be a bit sad. But otherwise, I think AI will have its own place. And if there is too much of misuse someday, then it will stop. Everything has to come to an end when it's, good or bad. If it's going in the wrong direction, I think people themselves will halt it.
Right. Which actor did you enjoy singing for the most?
Again, a very tricky question, but initially, of course, my first few, like my first time I sang, I was overawed with Shabana Azmi ji. Because I sang one line and it really looked as if it was her voice. That was Mile Sur Mera Tumhara. Mile Sur Mera Tumhara, Tu Sur Bane Hamara. You'll think it's Shabana ji singing. So then after that, when I sang for her for, Saz, and then also for In Custody, my God, the way she used to do her lip movements, it used to feel it's her song. Then, of course, Shri Devi, amazing.
Thank you so much for saying Shri Devi. I was wondering, how do I get Haba Hawaii in this conversation? Thank you so much.
Okay.
But the condition for Haba Hawaii is all of you all have to clap while she's singing, and you'll have to give the chorus. Are you all ready to do that?
I must tell you that was a very funny situation when I went to learn the song in Lakshmikantji's house. At that time, I didn't know it was going to be my song. Honestly, I thought it's probably, because of the scale, I thought it was probably Ashaji's song. And they told me it was a dubbing for Sri Devi. Ultimately, they kept my song. But in the rehearsal, it was very funny. When we went to the sitting room, Boni ji, Javed Saab, Lakshmi ji, Pyare Bhai, everybody sitting in the sitting room, and I go in and sit down next to Lakshmi ji to learn the song. So I saw Javed Saab, and I was a bit nervous, such great writers, and I said, oh God, I have to sing well. So Lakshmi ji said, okay, write the lyrics of the song. So I took out my paper and my pen. He said, likhiye, chi hua hua. I was little looking, chi hua hua. Honolulu. This went on. And I couldn't believe, I was looking at Javed Saab and saying, Javed Saab's word. This is what happened. And then finally, when I went home after the rehearsal, the only thing I remember was that I was not practicing the song at all. My mother thought I was a lunatic because I went home and as I'm having my dinner, washed my hands. This went on till I went to sleep. So she said, what is this? I said, Mommy, this is tomorrow's song that I have to sing. Then cut to the studio when everybody, the musicians are preparing. I'm in the singer's cabin with Lakshmi ji. I've learned the song, waiting to be called for a full rehearsal. Javed Saab walks in the afternoon. He says, Lakshmi ji, इसके लिए मेरे को लास्ट वर्ड मिल गया है. कल रात को 12 बजे बहुत लेट नाइट मेरे को एक वर्ड आया और इससे ही खत्म होना चाहिए. And that's Mombasa. Then he recomposed the whole thing and we sang it, and many months later I got the news that they're keeping it in my voice.
But since it's time up, this will be a great note to end this session.
Okay.
But all of you need, as I said, you'll need to support her in every word, in every line.
Okay. Can you all say Hawa Hawai for me in the beginning? Okay, I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to say Hawa Hawai for me, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, baby, baby, baby. Ah, baby, 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 baby. नहीं, गड़बड़ है. इसके पहले मुझे गाना, उसके बाद आप बोलोगे. मैं बताती हूँ कहाँ. Chi hua, Honolulu, lululu, Honolulu, Hinbiki, Hong Kong, King Kong, I see Lucy, as it see, less it see, Mombasa, ping pong. Paka chicky lucky chum, the rup chicky lucky chum, paka chicky lucky chum, the rup chicky lucky chum. मैं ख्वाबों की शहजादी, मैं हूँ हर दिल पे छाई, बादल है मेरी जुल्फें, बिजली मेरी अंगड़ाई, बिजली गिराने मैं हूँ आई, बिजली गिराने मैं हूँ आई. कहते हैं मुझको हवा हवाई, हवा 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 हवाई, हवा हवाई, हवा हवाई. Hey, thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And I should tell you something funny. I always used to think it's Bijli Ki Rani. And only 2 years ago...
Sorry,
and only
that's
2
something
years
wrong.
ago, someone told me it's Bijli Girani.